10 million people. Their names, their emails, their passwords, all of it walking straight out the door. And here's the part that should stop you cold. Nobody broke anything. No genius, no movie hacker in a hoodie. Someone just left the door open. That's the secret almost nobody tells you. Most databases aren't hacked. They're walked into. So let's walk through 5 open doors together, and by the end, you'll know how to lock every single one. First, let me show you the place we're breaking into, because once you can picture it, the rest is easy. Every time you sign up for something, a store, a bank, your email, your information goes and lives somewhere. Think of it as a building. Your name lives on one floor, your password in a safe on another, your card details locked in a room in the back. The company owns the building and hires a guard to watch it. And out on the sidewalk, there's always someone who'd love to get in without an invitation. That's the whole story. A break-in isn't magic. It's that person finding a door the guard forgot to lock. So let's walk the building, floor by floor, and find those doors. There are 5. Door number 1 is the simplest, and it's everywhere. Somebody sets up the building's safe, the one holding everyone's information, and to make their own life easier, they leave it right out on the sidewalk. Worse, they never change the little combination it came with from the factory: 0, 0, 0, 0. Now here's the part people don't realize. The thieves aren't looking for your safe. They drive down every street in the world, day and night, trying that factory combination on every safe they pass. Yours is sitting outside. They try 0, 0, 0, 0, and it opens. No skill, no effort. And millions of records have leaked exactly like this. So what's the lock? 2 things. Take the safe off the sidewalk, keep it in a locked back room only your own people can reach, and change that factory combination the very first day. The techies call that a private network and killing the default password. If the door can't be reached, it can't be walked through. But say you do lock the safe. It won't matter much if inside it the secrets are written in plain handwriting for anyone to read. Which is door 2. Door 2 is a quiet one, and it lives inside the safe. Let's say a thief does get their hands on one page, the list of everyone's passwords. Now, if those passwords are written in plain, readable handwriting, the damage is already total. Every account wide open at a glance. And it gets worse because of a very human habit. People use the same password everywhere. So that one stolen page isn't just the key to your account here. It's the key to your email, your bank, everywhere else you used it. Here's the fix, and it's beautiful. Never write a password down in a way you can read back. Turn it into a one-way secret code. And I mean one way. You can lock a word into it, but you can never turn it back into the word. When you type your password to log in, the guard locks your attempt into the same code and checks if the scrambled versions match, never seeing the real thing. So even if the whole page is stolen, what spills out is useless gibberish. The techies call that a hash with a pinch of salt. 2 locks down. But the third door isn't about a hole at all. It's about how much one small mistake is allowed to touch. Door 3. Picture a little errand runner whose whole job is to fetch one folder from one room when a customer asks. Simple job. But on their first day, someone hands them the master key to the entire building. Every floor, every safe, permission to read anything, change anything, even shred whole rooms. And here's the thing about errand runners. Sooner or later, one of them slips, gets tricked, makes a mistake. It always happens. And on that day, because they're carrying the master key, one small slip doesn't cost you a folder. It hands over the whole building. So what's the lock? Don't give the errand runner the master key. Give them a key to exactly the one room they work in and nothing else. Can only read? Then a key that can't change a thing. Never touches the back rooms? Then no key to them at all. The techies call this least privilege. Now when something goes wrong, and it will. The damage is one closet, not the whole tower. So far, every break-in needed the thief to find a weakness. But the next one doesn't need to find anything. They already have a key. Door 4 might be the sneakiest because nothing gets broken at all. Somewhere out there, someone finds your key. Maybe it leaked from another building that got robbed last year. Maybe you used the same key for everything, your house, your car, your office. Now the thief walks up to the front door, slides your key in, and it turns. They stroll right past the guard, because to the guard, they look exactly like you. No alarm, no broken window, just a familiar face walking in. How do you stop a thief who has a real key? You add a second lock, one that needs something only you carry. A code that shows up on the phone in your pocket. Now the stolen key alone is useless. Without your phone, the door stays shut. The techies call that two-factor, or, as they say, MFA. And it's the single best lock on this whole list because it survives a stolen password. One key should never be the whole lock. Now, notice something. 4 doors in, and not one of them needed a genius. Nobody broke a thing. Which brings us to the 5th door, the one everyone actually calls a hack. And it's the door those 10 million records at the very start walked out of. Door 5. Every building has a doorman, and this doorman has one flaw. He does exactly what the note in front of him says, word for word. Normally you hand him your name, Maria, and he checks if Maria's on the list. Fine. But watch what a clever thief does. Instead of a name, they hand him a note that reads, "Let this person in," and, by the way, let everyone in. And the doorman, reading literally, does just that. Look at what the rule became. It stopped asking, "Is this password right?" and started saying, "Is the password right?" or "Is 1 equal to 1?" Well, 1 is always equal to 1, so it's always true. The rope opens, and they're inside as the administrator. Push it further, and that same trick can make the doorman read out the guest list from a completely different room. Names, cards, everything. Do you see what happened? The note stopped being information and became an order. Here's the fix, and it's the cleanest one on the list. Teach the doorman to treat the whole note as a name, always, no matter what's written on it, never as an order. You hand him a blank slot, and you pass the visitor's writing in separately as plain text. So that same evil note becomes a very strange name that simply isn't on the list, and the door stays shut. The techies call this a parameterized query. Never build the rule by gluing the visitor's notes straight into it. And that's the door those 10 million records walked out of at the start. So we found all 5, but before you go, let me hand you the one thing worth keeping, because it's not a list to memorize. Look back at the 5 doors, the safe on the sidewalk, the passwords in plain ink, the master key, the stolen key, the doorman who followed any note. Notice what every single one of them has in common. Not one needed a genius. Every break-in was just a door someone assumed nobody would ever try. So here's the habit that closes all 5, and every door we didn't even name today. Walk your own building, assuming the worst thief in the world is already standing on the sidewalk, trying every handle. And at each door, ask one question. If everything else fails, what does this lock still protect? That's the whole mindset the professionals use. They even have a name for it. They assume they'll be broken into and build so that one open door is never enough. Lock every door as if it's the last one standing. 5 doors, a safe left on the sidewalk, passwords in plain handwriting, an errand runner with the master key, a stolen key nobody double-locked, and a doorman who'd follow any note. Lock these 5 and you are already ahead of most of the internet. But here's the thing. 5 is where we started, not where the dark side ends. There are more doors in this building and more buildings down the street. Subscribe and let's keep walking through the ones nobody else is watching.